Metallica take a little too much inspiration from the Smashing Pumpkins, or is this merely a coincidence? For Billy Corgan, he thinks that one Metallica song in particular sounds awfully close to his own band, according to him. Now, we've heard a lot over the years about song similarities, with even some lawsuits taking place, like the famous case between the band Spirit and Led Zeppelin over Stairway to Heaven, which they claimed was taken unfairly from one of their songs. Let's hear the track, though, that Billy Corgan is talking about, and whether or not this is actually as close as he thinks it is. Let's take a look. In music, there's always going to be some overlap. There's only so many chords. But we've also seen times when a popular band will emerge and something seems to really be working well for them, and next thing you know, you hear a lot of other bands that start to sound the same. And there are also situations when someone says, hey, that sounds just like my band, but it might not necessarily be the case. Back in 2014, a lawsuit was filed against Led Zeppelin on behalf of the band Spirit. They claimed that Zeppelin stole the riff from their song Taurus. The case garnered a lot of attention, not just because Stairway to Heaven is an iconic song, but also because the songs did sound similar. The case went back and forth in court for years before a ruling was made in 2020. A U.S. appeals court would rule in favor of Led Zeppelin. They said the songs were not substantially similar. They upheld a 2016 jury verdict that was also in the band's favor. Now, that's a bit of an extreme example, considering that Billy Corgan is a huge fan and supporter of Metallica, but he does feel like one song from the legendary band in particular sounds very similar to one of his own. It was in a new interview with Australia's Everblack podcast, where Corgan was asked whether or not he had ever played Tales of a Scorched Earth live. But Corgan's answer went in a bit of a different direction. He pointed out how much he loves Metallica and is a fan of their work, before saying he feels that one Metallica song in particular is awfully close to that track. He told them, well, let me caveat this by saying that I love James Hetfield as a person. I love Metallica. I saw them in 1984 and all that great stuff. And James is probably the greatest riff writer outside of maybe Tony Iommi. James has written some of the greatest, most amazing riffs, and he's still writing them. But if you listen to Tales of a Scorched Earth, and you listen to that Metallica song Fuel from Reload, give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. See? A little light bulb went off in your brain. Now, which song came first? The host said that Tales of a Scorched Earth was released 2 years before Fuel. Corgan said, God bless you. Now, I don't think James would rip anything off from me, but the first time I heard that song, I was like, that's awfully close, but I love me some James. And I'd love somebody trying to get a troll headline out of that, some clickbait out of that. He added, my father used to say, look, there's only 12 notes. So that's the great thing. We all rip each other off, and it works. Great. I've got no problem with that. I mean, I've certainly ripped Metallica off plenty. Now, to demonstrate these supposed similarities, I'm going to play a few seconds from both tracks so you can make up your own mind on this issue. I mean, it's definitely similar. I mean, in the sense that they're both kind of these galloping riffs, but I don't know that, I mean, it's in a different key. I don't really think the songs in total, if you listen to them, they sound vastly different. He's saying, you know, he feels like it's awfully close to the riff. So I don't know. I don't really think that that's super close. I never would have made that connection had he not said something. But, you know, as a songwriter and an incredibly talented musician, he's probably much better at perceiving those types of similarities than I am. So I defer to him on that. Really what it comes down to is, what do you think? Let me know in the comments as always. And if you're new here, be sure to subscribe with notifications on for the latest news and updates.